How's it going, everyone? As we're coming up on the end of the year, there are still new games dropping, and there's quite a few this week. A lot of variety in the games dropping this week. As far as PlayStation releases go, nothing too major, but definitely some interesting games, and let's just get right into it. We're also going to take a look at the big Xbox release of the week, Xbox and PC, I should say, but more on that later. First of all, we have Wytchwood. Wytchwood is a crafting adventure game set in a land of gothic fables and fairy tales as the old witch of the woods explore a strange countryside, collect magic ingredients, brew sorceress spells, and pass judgment upon a capricious cast of characters. The game is coming to just about every platform: PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Looks like it's just missing a Nintendo Switch release for now. Game from a visual style looks really good. I do have to say that right away. Honestly, like, I'm looking at it, and you want to know what it reminds me of? Gives me some vibes of like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if that's the right comparison to make, but like, just looking at some of these images, that's the comparison I drew right away. No, it's a lovingly rendered storybook art style. Gather, collect, grow, and craft bizarre ingredients, toxic toadstools, eye of newt, and a bottled fear. Research and concoct devious spells and sorceries. Turn the greedy into frogs. Explore an allegorical world of tall tales uncovering colorful personas and fantastical narratives. Use your wit and guile to solve puzzles and best the strange monsters of the forest. Wytchwood is due out for a release on December 9th. Next up, we have Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker coming to Mac, PC, PS4, and PS5 tomorrow, Tuesday, December the 7th. Now, a lot of people are already playing this game right now in early access, but the full release will be happening tomorrow. I've heard from some friends that are playing a lot of it right now that the queue times are a little bit crazy, but looks like everybody is incredibly satisfied with what Endwalker has brought so far. The soundtrack, I've also been hearing incredibly top-tier stuff out of it. It's something I definitely want to jump into at some point, obviously. Kind of a massive undertaking when you do get back into an MMO, but Endwalker is looking to be something Final Fantasy XIV fans can really sink their teeth into, and it looks like that team has delivered yet another home run. Again, the full release will be happening tomorrow, Tuesday, December 7th. Next up, we have Vaporum Lockdown, which was a game released on PC back in September of last year. Vaporum Lockdown, a prequel to Vaporum, is a grid-based dungeon-crawling RPG in an original steampunk setting inspired by old-school classics of the genre. Follow the story of Ellie Teller, a scientist struggling to survive disastrous events that happen in the town of Arx Vaporum. The game got a very positive reception on Steam, 162 reviews, 86% of those reviews being positive. Didn't fare as well on Metacritic with a 68, but the game is a budget title at $17.99. First-person real-time combat, unique stop-time mode, puzzles and level-wide objectives, gadget-based RPG system, lots of exploration, loot, and character customization, mysterious storyline filled with secrets, fully voiced main characters, and immersive steampunk setting. The game is scheduled to make the transition to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One on Friday, December the 10th. Next up, we have a VR title coming to PC and PlayStation VR, and that is After the Fall. Now, this is coming from Vertigo Games, the same studio that brought you Arizona Sunshine, and that was a pretty well-received VR title. This is noted to be an epic VR action FPS with intense co-op gameplay at its core. Team up with friends and take on a hostile VR world filled with ferocious undead, mutated, and twisted by the relentless cold. Visually, the game looks pretty solid, and the game is set in the ice-covered ruins of 1980s LA, nearly 20 years after the apocalypse. After the Fall combines an evolving VR world shared with players on all platforms with action-packed co-op gameplay built from the ground up for VR. Nice to see it having a cross-platform play. Intense co-op VR action, go solo or team up with friends in a 4-player co-op through an evolving 1980s-inspired world. Hell has frozen over. Venture out onto the ice-covered and snow-infested ruins of dystopian LA to take the city's future in your hands. Discover your combat style, craft, upgrade, and wield a large variety of deadly weapons and devastating powers, all with real-life movements. Yet another VR title. Nice to see that roster of games continue to expand. After the Fall is going to be dropping on December the 9th. Next up, we have Transient, which will be coming to the PlayStation 4. Now, this is a game that released on PC back in October of 2020, and it notes H.P. Lovecraft meets Cyberpunk. Delve deep into a dystopian world and investigate what is happening to you and your friends in a domed city. Solve puzzles, hack systems, and plug in to explore other dimensions. Discover a truth that might tear apart your sanity and question your very existence. Again, a cyberpunk adventure story-driven game. Now, it got a mixed reception on Steam, 133 user reviews, 65% positive, and actually, funny enough, it also got a 65 on Metacritic. It is making the transition to PlayStation 4, going for $19.99, so it's a budget title here as well, but that will be out on December the 8th. Also out December the 8th, the big Xbox and PC release of the week, Halo Infinite campaign. Now, the multiplayer is, of course, already out. It's a free-to-play game. You can download it right now. I know a lot of people that have already sunk quite a bit of money into the free-to-play portion as well, but now we have the campaign, and the reviews have been coming out, and the reviews are coming in very, very strong. Currently, an 87 on Metacritic. I believe IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. Very good to see. Seems like some complaints for the story, but from a gameplay standpoint, being more of an open game, seems like that is working to the benefit of Halo Infinite. Now I'm incredibly excited about Halo Infinite's campaign release. I've been playing the multiplayer. I know there's quite a bit of mixed reception. I'm not like looking into the game with a grand detail. I'm enjoying the multiplayer for what it is, playing with some friends and having a really good time. I mainly only play ranked, and I'm having a good time with Halo Infinite's multiplayer component. Now, I'm hoping the campaign is up to par, because from Halo Infinite standpoint, I really like the gameplay I've seen out of the campaign, so hopefully that delivers as well. We'll see how it does in my eyes on December the 8th, but at the end of the day, the game is available through Xbox Game Pass. I imagine that's how a lot of people are going to end up playing the game, because it is going to be a $60 release, but hey, you can get Game Pass 3 months for $1, and I think a lot of people are just going to go that route, given that, we've been playing Forza Horizon 5, Age of Empires 4, a lot of great games have been coming to Game Pass, and Halo Infinite's gonna be December's a big title. Next up, we have White Shadows. This will be coming December 7th, tomorrow. The wolves are watching venture through a captivating but brutal dystopia where our young adventurer Raven Girl will travel through this huge city's brightest highs and delve to its darkest depths on her perilous journey of discovery and finding her destiny where she hopes seems in short supply. Now, this is a game that is very reminiscent of like darker games like a Limbo or Inside. I immediately thought of the Playdead titles when looking at this game. Looks pretty cool as a story-driven darker game, very much going for an atmospheric and an engrossing world as well. I think White Shadows is going to be something that when it comes out, if it gets good reviews, it's just going to be a title that a lot of people pick up on, because I think it looks fairly good from what I'm seeing. It's not a game that I know too much about in terms of been following it ever since its announcement, but doing research on it, it does look like something that would be right up my alley. Again, I loved Limbo and Inside, and if this is a platforming adventure with an engrossing story, I think it's going to be right up my alley. This one is going to be out on December 7th. Next up, we have Ever Forward, another game that released on PC back in August of 2020, finally making the transition to PlayStation, so that'll be nice to see this one come to PlayStation. It's been one that I've known about for quite a while. The game itself got kind of a mixed reception. I mean, it got mostly positive reviews, 101 reviews, 76% positive, and it's a game that also got a 65 on Metacritic. From a visual standpoint, I think it looks cool, even though it's a little bit simplistic in its style, but very colorful as well. Do expect some puzzles in this game as well. It looks to be an adventure game, a girl trapped in a strange world where somewhere between reality and imagination help her find her way in this adventure puzzle game. Again, didn't get a gigantic amount of buzz on PC, but $14.99, so a budget title here. It'll be coming to PlayStation 4 tomorrow, December the 7th. Next up, another title making the transition from PC and Xbox to PlayStation 4. That is 12 Minutes. The game notes what should be a romantic evening with your wife turns into a nightmare when a police detective breaks into your home, accuses your wife of murder, and beats you to death, only for you to find yourself immediately returned to the exact moment you opened the front door, stuck in a 12-minute time loop, doomed to relive the same terror again and again. The game got a 77 on Metacritic, a very positive recent reception on Steam, 85% positive across 525 reviews. The game was also available through Xbox Game Pass. I remember when I initially saw this game and heard about this game, it was like at that Xbox presentation a while ago. I immediately thought of Steins Gate, like the idea of the time loop, reliving the terror over and over again. Always gonna draw back to Steins Gate with a story like that, but the game itself expects something that is engrossing from a story standpoint, a lot of mystery, and there's gonna be some puzzles in the game as well. Dropped back in August on PC, but now it'll finally be coming to PlayStation 4 on December the 7th. It will also be coming to the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. And lastly, want to give a shout to Heavenly Bodies. This is coming December 7th, and it notes wrangle the hands and arms of a 1970s space cosmonaut and push, pull, and twist your way through an increasingly precarious range of physically simulated stellar scenarios where without gravity, nothing is still, nothing is secure, and nothing is simple. Very much a physics-based game, expressively control every limb of a weightless cosmonaut to perform challenging and delicate maneuvers. Play single player or with a friend via local co-op. You'll be able to play missions either solo or with a space friend, manipulate incredibly expensive space vehicles and elaborate machinery, stylized 70s visual aesthetics influenced by archival space photography and technical illustration. Again, this one's out on PC, PlayStation 4, December the 7th, and that's gonna do it for me. Maybe from a big budget game release standpoint, this week may not be your cup of tea, especially if you don't have an Xbox or a PC, but you still got Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker's official release, and a lot of lower key titles that do look quite good. Like a game like Wytchwood looks like something that would be right up my alley. White Shadows is something I'm really hoping turns out well. Some stuff to keep your eyes on, but that's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.